This is going to be part of a short series where I'll go over some basic aspects of the Nuosu language, such as the letters, phonemes, grammar, and some basic vocabulary. There's a distinct lack of this kind of thing on YouTube, and this should help any prospective Nuosu learners out there. I might do similar series for the Lisu and Hani languages if this does well, but all that aside, let's get on to the main part of the video. Nuosu, also known as Yi, is a minority language spoken in China and Myanmar, but mainly in China's Yunnan and Sichuan regions. It has approximately 9 million speakers, making it the seventh most spoken minority language in China. Nuosu has many mutually intelligible dialects, the most widely spoken of these being the northern dialects, with around 3 million speakers, concentrated in Sichuan, which is the dialect that will be used in this video and all following. Nuosu is very much infrequently studied or looked at in Western academia, and it's not surprising as to why, with Nuosu-populated areas being some of the least affluent and most inaccessible in China. There are comparatively few Nuosu speakers in cities compared to rural areas, and indeed until the last 30 years all external visitors were prohibited from entry into the Liangshan Yi Autonomous Prefecture, the largest area of Nuosu population, without a pass from the Chinese government. Currently, a few books and guides exist in English on the language, and a dictionary, but the vast majority of any study material is in Chinese. As a language, Nuosu is a part of the Sino-Tibetan family, and a part of the Burmese Loloish subgroup. Similar to Chinese, every character represents a syllable when written, however unlike Chinese, which can use many characters for the same syllable, such as all of these characters being pronounced dian, with only the tone changing. In Nuosu, every syllable has only one character to represent it, and unlike the many final endings of Chinese, Nuosu syllables are strictly consonant vowel, and vowels are never found on their own. Nuosu, like many Sino-Tibetan languages, is a tonal language. There are a few tones in Nuosu, which are represented in the script by different characters for each tone, for each syllable. In total, there are 44 consonants, 8 vowels, and 4 tones, each of which combines to make a syllable, which is represented by a single character, theoretically making about 1,400 characters. However, due to many syllables not being used, only around 800 distinct characters are used. This makes the Nuosu script a syllabary, and by far one of the largest currently in use. Prior to the invention of the syllabary, a logographic script was used instead, independently derived from the Chinese characters. However, literacy rates of this were extremely low, being known only among the religious and ruling classes of Nuosu society. Many of the grammatical concepts are similar to Chinese, as well as a bit of the vocabulary. The language also makes frequent use of Chinese loanwords and has many consonants which are only used in them. Therefore, having some basic experience of Chinese can go a long way on learning Nuosu. As a fairly experienced Chinese speaker myself, it's made it quite a bit easier for me. However, a lot of the grammatical concepts and structures are entirely alien to both English and Chinese, not least of all being the word order, which is subject, object, verb, much like Latin, making Nuosu an analytical language. Right, I think that's a good enough introduction to the basic facets of the language. The next video will go over the script and syllable system in more detail, and then I'll cover the tones, vowels, and consonants. If you have any questions you want me to cover in the next video, leave them as a comment. And apologies for the terrible mic quality.